Ariel coming down in 3, 2, 1. You are live.
Welcome to Last Call, filling in for Kelly in Vegas for pretty much the rest of summer. I'm the prop queen, Ariel Epstein. Good morning to everybody here at WagerTalk. We're here to make you money, take you up to first pitch, tip off. We've got UFC tonight too. Everyone who's great going to break it down. Gianni the Greek, I know he's got some UFC info for us. We'll talk a little NFL draft and how things have been going. We've also got Major League Baseball, and you know that the books hate booking Major League Baseball. Teddy Cover is going to join the show, talk Major League Baseball and NBA as well. Tokyo Brandon also coming on to talk Major League Baseball. You know why Kelly has me filling in. She doesn't want to talk baseball like I do. We've got first pitch, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It is absolutely disgusting here in New York City. We want to make sure to brighten the rest of your days. I hope all of you are somewhere much nicer than where I am right now. So everyone has to make sure, try to brighten my day a little bit. Like, write in the chat, make things entertaining for us. Ask any questions you want to any of our guests. Well, maybe not any question. We don't want any question. Some of you guys are a little out of line. Dan's got us going, producing the show. He's going to make sure to filter out all your questions. So he's not going to take any of them if they're bad. First guest today, the greatest, the Greek, Gianni the Greek, joining the show to break it all down with us. This is the second time this week that I've gotten to talk to Gianni. How you doing?
Never better. Look at the treat. Yeah, twice in a couple days, Ariel. And throughout the summer, you're going to be doing it. So looking forward to that.
Me too, because we've got to beat the books when it comes to baseball. And I love that you're going to help me out with it. I'm assuming, though, I mean, you know what? Let's start with the headline. The headline is the NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders still hasn't gone. It is day 3. What is going on here, Gianni?
Yeah, and now it's like, who's going to end up with them because of all that hype about why is everyone passing? Why is everyone passing? Why is everyone passing? Personally, I didn't expect him to go in the first round. I threw a flyer out there on one team that was like 10, 15 to 1, just in case. But I talked about it when we covered the draft, that don't play psychic. Just wait until you get confirmation. That's why I thought this first round was one of the easiest first rounds. It kind of went according to plan. Listen, he's going to be drafted, obviously. I do think he probably should have went.
Is it obvious, Gianni? We really think he's going today?
Yeah, he should go today. He should, because honestly, he's been, even if as a non-quarterback, I think there's players that already have drafted that he's probably going to make a better pro than. And I think there's
where's he going?
Already passed on him that again probably should have grabbed him. Now it's just a matter of, like I said, why are you taking him now? But if anything, I think now he's going to offer a lot of value to a team, because he didn't. Listen, if you get him in the first round, you get him in the second round, early second round, there's a lot of pressure. You have to make a good call on a quarterback, you know. But now, as you go further in the draft, taking a shot on Sanders, I think there's been worse gambles in the NFL draft. As a GM, I think I would grab him. If anything, he may give you some trade material later down the line by a team that needs a quarterback that did pass on him. He's not NFL ready yet, but he's got the pedigree. He's performed when asked, and I think he's got a lot of upside. So for me as a GM, I'd be looking to grab Sanders, especially, again, this late in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
If he survives today, I'll be really shocked. Then there's something wrong that we don't know. Like, something's going to come out later that we just don't know, because then it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, we kind of had an idea when we saw the draft position drop from top 5 to 21 and a half with the Steelers. So
exactly.
Kind of knew things were turning there. UFC tonight, Gianni. Yes. I want to know what you've got.
All right, I got so far I bet 3 Cage Warrior bets, 3 boxing bets. I've got 4 UFC bets already. And we just fired another one on Damon Blackshear at -325 early this morning. But that's all the way up to -500. So it's like I can't even release that to subscribers. But what I did like is Blackshear to win by decision. It's a bantamweight. So it's like a coin flip whether the judges get involved or not. But there's a lot of recency bias when you look at his results, because over his last 3 or 4 fights, finish. But he's still only about 63% finish rate in the UFC, which again is still high for bantamweight. So I think we do see a little bit of regression, and his opponent is just a really tough out. Like Blackshear's going to win that fight, but to win inside the distance will not be an easy task. And I actually see Blackshear to win by decision upwards of 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. So you're giving me a minus 500 in bantamweight to win by decision upwards of plus 500. I'm all over it. So I like that. Everybody's against Schnell. Everybody is on Jimmy Flick. And actually, Babakatis from the Westgate came on yesterday and said one of his sharpest bettors in MMA took Flick. Listen, it makes sense at plus 250, which is what he got down at. Right now, they're betting him at like plus 120, plus 125, plus 130. That's a completely different bet. And the reason for it is Schnell said this is his retirement fight. The second time around, he had retired before. It didn't go the way he liked. So he returned and wants to go out with a W. This sets up perfectly for him. I mean, listen, we know Flick's got one path to victory. That's his grappling. Get it to the ground, try to get a submission. I don't think he's going to do that against Flick, but the recency bias is because of what just happened. What's it called against Durden? Durden just subbed. I can't believe I just forgot his name that I'm talking about. Schnell just subbed Schnell. So again, I gave out Schnell yesterday at about minus 160. Line's gone against me. It's down to like minus 150. I think it's a great bet. Going against a lot of sharp money in Flick, but they made a much different bet at plus 250 than it is right now at plus 130, plus 135. So I like Schnell also. And in the main event, I gave out Machado, Ian Gary at minus 125 to my subscribers. That's up to like minus 155 now. I thought it was going to go in that direction. That's why I did bet it. But I do think a lot of the value's been extracted. I thought he wins this fight maybe 2 out of 3 times. So I'm comfortable betting it around that, not a little higher than 60%, 62, 63%. So I was comfortable laying 125, but now 155. I think it's a little bit too high, but I do think it's a favorite or pass spot. And I like the over also, but that's another one that moved. It was 2.5 with the over juice. Now it's 3.5, slightly to the under juiced. I still like the over. I think you're looking at 2 guys, kind of a step up almost for Pradis. And I don't think even if he beats Gary, he's going to be able to get him out of there. And I think Gary's going to fight this fight safe. So I like Gary and over in that one. So there's a little UFC for you. And I got a 5% going as well. Can't share that. People are going to get upset. Yeah, you can't do that. Got two.
We'll tell people at the end what you're promoting, just so people stick around. They've got to hear what else you've got to say about the other sports today. My favorite part about UFC, it's not like the NBA where there's a playoff. You hate the play. Like I'm not gonna say you. I hate the playoffs. The playoffs are a different beast in most sports, especially in the NBA. It has been so difficult for me, Gianni, to get a handle on the sharp sides, to get a handle on props. Who are you seeing the sharps taking in the NBA tonight?
They're doing the same thing they've done every single day since the playoffs open. As soon as the totals go up, they bet it under. And usually the public bias is towards the over, right? So you would think that sharp bettors are going to sit back. They're going to wait for the public to bump that line up, and they're going to go ahead and take advantage of those extra couple points and go under. But that just hasn't been the case, because I say all the time, it's not a zero-sum game. Everybody's kind of trading against the other guy. So when they see an inefficient line and the total already jacked up towards that over bias, they're going to bet it. And more importantly, we're seeing the recreational bettors, the public, betting unders more in this first round than they have, than they do during the regular season. So you couple that with the sharp money and the public money on the under, and you're seeing some huge line moves. Unfortunately, if you don't get down early, there's only one way you could bet it, and that's the over, because you're betting from such a position of weakness. You know what I mean? If this line opens 220 and you're looking at 216, 215, you either like the over or you leave it alone. You can't bet it 3-4 points different. Even if it goes under, it's just not a good bet. So they're betting all the unders except, and this is one that I bet as well, over in Houston Golden State. I went over 202.5. I betted over 203 as well. I think it's now 204.5 at most shops. So the market reflects that move. I like that fact. And I think we're going to see a lot more points scored today with Houston and Golden State. I also like Golden State a little bit. We saw resistance there. The early move was on Golden State. I got down with the group that bet that actually at -3. It went up, but at 3.5, you saw another group come in and they took Houston plus the 3.5. And that's why you were looking at 2.5 just the other day. I think yesterday it was at 2.5. Now it's gone back, creep back to 3 because probably some public money on the home favorite Golden State. But I like that side. I don't like that the line came back a little bit on Houston. But yeah, I like the Golden State side, and I like that game over. Real quickly, the public money in the NBA today, because I know everybody wants to know where the heavily bet sides are. The one that sticks out the most is the Thunder. They're betting the Thunder every single night, and why not, right?
Shocker.
Yeah, and the price don't matter, Ariel. Like it opens 10.5, goes to 11, 11.5, 12, 12.5, 13, 13.5.
And Jaws banged up.
It just keeps ending. And they're hoping that sharps come in and take Memphis like they did, I think, in game 1 or game 2. But since then, they haven't really bailed them out by taking these dogs late. So yeah, the books are gonna end up needing the Grizz. No surprise, they're gonna need the Grizz pretty much every single night. But otherwise, it's good balance on the sides, except for, like I said, under Heat, under Grizzlies, under Clippers, public and sharps, all on the unders. So I think you'll get the books needing a lot of scoring, except in that late game. Like I said, we went over Rockets and Warriors.
Just so everyone knows, the update in the NBA, Cleveland, Miami, you've got Cleveland up 2-0 in the series. OKC up 3-0 in the series over Memphis. Denver up 2-1 over the Clippers up 2-1 over the Nuggets. And then you got the series tied between the Rockets and the Warriors. Gianni, before I let you go, anything in Major League Baseball today?
Yeah, a couple sides that did get bet. First, the Boston Red Sox at plus money only.
Double header. Which one? Game 1 or 2?
One, the early one. Yeah, I'm almost positive because that was the plus one, right? Yeah, the early game. And then Tampa, again, plus 130, plus 125 on 927 Tampa. And finally, one of my favorite teams that I've been riding lately is Minnesota. Bet them last night. Betting syndicates bet them today at -110, -115, -120. Like I talked about in the steam room yesterday, that is the one team that's not doing what they're supposed to. When the dust settles, rest assured, they called me crazy on it yesterday, Ariel, but I said Minnesota will win that division. And at 50-1, I bet Minnesota to win the World Series. Not saying they're going to do that, but they're the only team.
There's a reason that they were favored by some miracle to win that division. Like the book knew something. There was no reason.
Ariel, they started awful. Like if you see what they've done at home, they're not going to continue losing at that kind of clip at home. It's a team that wins a lot more at home than they lose. And then you look at the teams above them. They're not going to win. If in baseball, one team's going to win, one or two teams going to win 60% of their games or plus. Every other division is going to be won by a team that wins between 56, 57, 58% of their games. That's it. The difference between first place and fourth place is first place is about 58, 59%. Fourth place is about 51, 52%. They're because it's a long season and you're going to regress and progress towards the mean. That's what usually happens. And I think if this team doesn't get injured, they offer the most value as upside, a team that's playing well below their market expectations. Everyone else is pretty much above market expectations or exactly where they should be. The divisions are in order as what we expected coming into the season. The only difference is some of these teams that have won 70% of their games, 68% of their games, they're not going to end the season like that. They'll be a lot closer to that coin flip. Lucky if they win 6 out of 10. So take a look at Minnesota long game. You may have some equity when the season ends.
Hey, it makes sense. Yanni, I've got to get the other guests on, but NHL, last one.
Nothing to report. Nothing's coming out, like meaning none of the betting syndicates did anything that I have access to with the NHL. And I looked right before I came on and I'm looking again. The only thing that sticks out is they're parlaying Colorado with Vegas. Colorado, Vegas, Colorado, Vegas, Colorado, Vegas. That's the hot parlay in NHL. So books are going to need one of those dogs to stick their head out, and it's going to eliminate all the risk because those are the two sides getting bet the most.
Yanni, what are you promoting today?
I got that 5% going in the UFC. First, number one in profit in 5%, 75% this year. And we just keep winning, keep grinding, keep winning. And like I said, I got 3 boxing, 3 cage warriors, the UFC card. NBA basketball package, and going to dig into baseball as well. So busy Saturday. Wish everyone luck today. Hope you guys do some damage.
Absolutely love it. Gianni the Greek, catch him at Greek_gambler. Thank you so much, Gianni, and good luck today. I know he's got his promos. We've got ours here at WagerTalk. Make sure to check this out for $777. We've still got the last day going for the NFL draft offers. So today is the last day. NFL college football combo, 777. NFL or college football, $4.99 each. Joining the show now, we're going to switch back to some Major League Baseball. A good friend of mine who I met in Vegas a little bit ago. It is Tokyo Brandon. You know I'm here from WagerTalk. What's going on?
How's it going, Ariel? Nice to see you. Hey,
loving the shades today.
Any lady who likes baseball is a rock star in my book. So glad.
Well, you're giving off rock star vibes today, so I had to repay the favor. I love that we're going to talk some Major League Baseball props, and you're looking at a prop today in this Houston KC game. What do you like?
I am. Yeah, I like an outs prop in this game because Waka, if you take a look at how he's performed against these Astros, he has been absolutely annihilated. It's a small sample size. I think it's only 24 at bats against, but you know, if you're giving up a batting average against of 417 and an OPS of 1361, that's absolutely disgusting, obscene. They're just absolutely crushing Waka. So his outs prop is so I'm like you, I like props a lot. So especially the innings, the outs recorded, because you can really take advantage of the one-on-one matchups between a pitcher and a batter. And his outs recorded is 16.5. Let me explain real quick to some people who don't understand what that means. 15 outs is 5 innings. So over 16.5 means he has to get 2 outs in the 6th inning. I highly doubt he can do that against the Astros today. So I like Michael Wacha under 16.5 outs recorded as a small play today.
Yeah, I'm looking at my strikeout prop spreadsheet. Well, it's my pitcher's prop spreadsheet that is on my Prop Queen newsletter each day. And the average innings pitched by a starter is just over 5 for the Astros when you're facing the Astros. And Waka is a below average pitcher. So that's about 15 outs. Makes sense there to take the under. That's
I would say 5 innings is about what we could expect from him. Yeah, if he makes it that far, because he's been absolutely crushed by these guys. Small sample size, but still got to look at it.
It's okay. And then you're also going with the lefty Robbie Ray under 16.5 outs recorded in this Rangers Giants game. Ray is at home today against Texas. So why are you going to fade him in the home start?
Well, he just doesn't really go long. So if you look at his starts so far this season, he's only completed 6 innings one time, and that was against Seattle. That was at the beginning of the season when Seattle really wasn't hitting well. They're actually on fire right now, but back then they weren't, and he kind of nailed them down. He hasn't really nailed anyone down since then. He's gone 5, 4, 4, and he's very inefficient, and he has been inefficient ever since he was a Diamondback. He gets a lot of strikeouts, but 1 strikeout takes 3 pitches. He's taking 92 pitches to complete 4 innings and to complete 5 innings.
He's old.
A lot of batters. He's old, but he walks a lot of people. He's got some control issues and some command issues. So his outs prop also is 16.5. I don't think he's going to record 2 outs in the 6th inning today. So I like his under 16.5 in that game as well.
Robbie Ray cannot be trusted, coming off a lot of different season-ending injuries. I have a hard time. I always look to his strikeout props because in his heyday, they were great.
They were. He was averaging like over 7 strikeouts per start back then. He's
him and Shane Bieber, rest in peace.
Yeah, he's a little older now, but he still gets strikeouts, but unfortunately, he wastes way too many pitches in his starts. 93 pitches to complete 4 innings is absolutely obscene. That is not a major league pitcher. So yeah, I like his under today in that one.
Oh, I like this question. Any thoughts on Twins Angels? Heard somewhere that Kikuchi likes to sleep late, and this is a 2:10 start. It's not that he sleeps late. Kikuchi sleeps like 16 hours a day. That's why you're thinking that about Kikuchi. What do you think, Tokyo Brandon, about Kikuchi today?
Let's take a look at how he's done against these guys. That's kind of what's important, is the one-on-one matchups. Kikuchi's actually been performing quite well so far this season. The Twins had sleepy bats at the beginning of the season, but they're kind of catching on now. In his career, he's got 62 at bats against them. They're hitting 258 against him with a 668. The OPS is nice, 668. Anything under 700 in my is below the Mendoza line. So he's held them okay. He's only given up 0 home runs in 62 at bats. So the thing that scares me about this is the Twins bats are heating up a little bit. I still have him ranked 17th out of 30 teams. But recent form, like past 3 games or so, they're starting to catch on a little bit. They were really flaccid to start the season. The Angels rank second to last in batting in all of Major League Baseball. According to my rankings, they have a worse bullpen as well. Pitchers, I would give Kikuchi a little bit of an advantage here. All in all, I like Minnesota's bullpen. I think will get them through this one, though.
Gianni was saying that he likes the Twins in the futures market, not so much just today, but in the futures market in general. So there is a reason, everyone, that the Twins were favored to win this division preseason. Yeah,
their bullpen's playing well. I'm not enamored with their starting rotation. If you're starting Simeon with Richardson in your rotation, it's a little dicey. He's not really reliable. He doesn't go deep into games, and he makes you use that bullpen. But they do have a top 10 bullpen, so they have a shot to win their division. Any World Series talk is
crazy. I get it from a value perspective, but no, thank you on that. Someone in the chat asking the question about Paul Skeens and if you think he's dialing it back a little bit this year. He did just have a very dominant outing yesterday, shutting out the mighty Los Angeles Dodgers. Do you think that he's dialing it back on the K's, though?
His K rate is low, but this is something.
He had 9 last night.
He did. Let me see what I have for him.
Here's what I'll tell you about Skeens. The book obviously knows that he's gonna throw 7 to 8 strikeouts a game. You can't bet it. You just can't bet his strikeout prop.
The number is usually 7.5 for him. He's averaging 9.32 Ks per 9 innings. So basically, if you think depends on who he's playing against, but if you think he's going to go 7 innings, then definitely an over. It all depends on how deep he's going to go into the game. So if he's going to go 6 innings, he'll probably get 6 or 7 strikeouts. That's kind of how you can calculate that. I have him going 70.1% into his starts. So yeah, that's into the 7th inning. It's pretty deep. So yeah, I don't know if he's dialing it back. 9 strikeouts in one game is pretty darn good,
especially against those Los Angeles Dodgers, which they're back in action tonight. The Dodgers taking on the Pirates. No Paul Skeens. That was last night. This game was 3-0 yesterday, but you're taking the over on the Pirates team total 2.5. Why?
I am because here's a little story. Roki Sasaki is going today for the Dodgers, and Keller's going for the Pirates. So I have these pitchers ranked. Basically, I have them both ranked 19 on a scale of 1 through 30. So they're kind of toiling in sub-mediocrity, as I like to say. Japanese pitchers. So I'm in Japan, obviously. And a lot of people ask me why I wear sunglasses. It's because it's 1:30 in the morning, and do I really want this spotlight on my eyes at 1:30 in the morning? No. So when pitchers go to the United States from Japan, they have a lot of stuff to deal with. They have a language barrier. They have team synergy. They have holidays that they're not used to. They don't get to celebrate their home holidays. They're away from their parents. They don't get to, celebrate Japanese Thanksgiving with their parents. So there's a lot of stuff to deal with. We're seeing Sasaki struggle a little bit, but he's uber talented. He's basically like Yamamoto was last year. If you remember, Yamamoto struggled last year. Now he's coming into form, and he's a Cy Young contender. Didn't pitch too well last night, but he's pitching much better than he did last year. So I think Sasaki's going to struggle a little more going into the season. And I have the Pirates hitting better than the Dodgers right now. I have the Pirates hitting 13th in MLB, and I have the Dodgers hitting 16th. Another important fact, I have the Pirates bullpen ranked number 6 right now in MLB. So their bullpen is really coming on. I have the Dodgers ranked 20. So Pirates have, if you cover the logos and cover the lineup names, the Pirates have quite a big advantage in this game, but I'm certainly not going to bet the Pirates on the road against the best lineup in all of MLB. Not going to do it. I will take their team total, though. That's way too low. 2.5, way too low. It was -40 on DraftKings before I checked it on the show. The team that's hitting 13th in all of Major League Baseball against the 20th ranked bullpen and the 20th ranked starter. Cover the logos, plug your nose, take the Pirates team total over 2.5.
Pirates have been looking good. The Dodgers, I saw a lot of steam on them, so I definitely wouldn't want to take the Pirates. I know that's a very public way to think of it, but the second day in a row after shutting out the Dodgers at home yesterday, I understand the play for sure. And Rookie has not been looking so hot to start this season
Unstable
off, that's for sure.
is the best. Yeah.
What are you promoting today, Tokyo Brandon?
Yeah, I have a 5% play today in Major League Baseball. It's a nighttime money line play. The only way you could get it is to use code TB3, get a 3-day pass, as it says right there under my face. 5% MLB play out today. I'm going to have a Mexican baseball play out as well. Yes, I do Mexican baseball. I do Korean baseball. I just won my 4% KBO baseball play a couple hours before this show started. So yeah, things are hot. I'm plus 30 units so far in 2025. I'm number 1 in WagerTalk of all the cappers in 3 of the last 4 years. So things are going well. Grab my 5% play, TB3, 3-day pass.
You're up 30 units in 2025 plus 180 units in 2024. Number 1 profit at WagerTalk. So make sure to do that. Code TB3 for 3 days. All access, $39. That was Tokyo Brandon. Thank you to Tokyo Brandon for joining the show, talking MLB. For anyone that missed out, you've got 1 day left here at WagerTalk to make sure to take advantage of this. $777. You can sign up. NFL draft offers. It ends today. It's been going on for the last 5 days. NFL or college football individually, you could get those for $499 each. Make sure to take advantage of this because it ends today. We're going to get Teddy Covers on here in just a little bit. I think he's here. But I am very happy to hear that Gianni earlier did say that he likes the Tampa Bay Rays today because I bet the Tampa Bay Rays today. So I'm super pumped about it. Teddy Covers, we are going to talk NBA, Major League Baseball. We saved you for last because we've got so much action to get to. How are you?
I'm doing swell. How's my old buddy from Rockland?
I'm great. I haven't seen you, I feel like, since Vegas. So it's good to see you.
And I figured we spend the whole show talking about Shedeur Sanders. I mean, is there any other topic?
Apparently, no. In sports, we only talk about Shedeur Sanders, and we aren't talking about how amazing it is for all the other football players that got drafted and worked their asses off. So, yeah, I think that's insane. But you've been doing very well in the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs 60% in the last 4 years, up 70.5 units. I hate betting the NBA playoffs, so that's freaking impressive, Teddy.
Thank you. I mean, the NBA's kind of been my gig in recent years. So, we're up close to 200 units of profit in the NBA since 2022. I think it's 407 and 317 counting every play every day. So we're making money short term. We're making money long term. Let's see if we can make some money today.
Let's start with this Nuggets-Clippers game because I feel it's a series people can't really get their grasp of. It was the series that everyone was really excited for because it was the one place that we saw in that futures market, the series shift from the Nuggets being favored to then the Clippers get favored, and the series is currently at 2-1. What do you like in the matchup tonight for Game 4?
So when you start talking about Game 4, Game 5, Game 6 of a series, my thought process very much, I only want the team that I think is going to win the series as you get later, as the series progresses, meaning Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, even you can find spots where the inferior team may cover. By Game 4, Game 5, Game 6, and obviously Game 7, my philosophy and mentality changes in the sense of I'm only looking at the team I think is going to win the series. I'm looking for sides in this ballgame. And in this series, in my opinion, and in the betting market's opinion, after 3 games, the Clips are going to win this series. All right, the Clips are minus 450 now when it comes to full series price odds. And the number one most important factor for the NBA postseason is how healthy teams are. All right, you can't win if you're not healthy, especially if you're a team like Denver that's gone through a bizarre coaching change, that hasn't had a deep rotation all year. And the Nuggets have real injury concerns. Russell Westbrook has a bad left foot. He's got issues. Michael Porter's quote, they say it's normally a 4/5 week injury. I mean, you use your shoulder for everything. It was tough to rebound, tough to bring it up to shoot. It was probably like 20 or 30%. Porter just 7 points on 2 of 9 shooting. He's dealing with a left shoulder sprain. Questionable for today, both guys. And even if they play, I don't know that either one's going to be anywhere near 100%. So it's a shorthanded Nuggets team that's just coming off their single worst offensive showing of the year. They scored 83 points in their game 3 loss, 16 turnovers, 7 of 26 from 3-point range. And oh, by the way, they're going against the single best team in the NBA against the spread as home favorites. The Clippers, 21-8 in the Intuit Dome during the regular season, the brand new Intuit Dome ATS. I'm not talking straight up. I'm talking about against the spread as home favorites. And then obviously 1-0 here in the postseason. And the quotes from the Clippers after that Game 3 victory aren't, oh, yeah, we're feeling good. Sounds like a veteran team. James Harden, quote, killer mentality, protect home court. We do what we're supposed to do. We'll be ready for Game 4. It's a big game for us. Kawhi Leonard, who's shooting, 60% for the series. Quote, also, everyone contributed. It was a great game for us all. Denver's a great team. They've been here before. We got to still stay focused and play together and come up with a great mindset on Saturday. So I like that veteran mentality for the Clips. I respect this home court. And I know Denver's saying the right things, Christian Brown, we'll be ready. We just got punched in the mouth. You have to respond. You can't roll over. You can't complain. I wish the game was earlier. I wish we could respond earlier. Yeah, Denver might respond, but fourth quarter, only one of these two teams is capable of getting stops. And I don't trust the Nuggets' health right now. Clippers or pass for this better.
I love that you're looking at all these quotes. That's what I've been told by many handicappers. The NBA playoffs is the place you have to look to quotes. You'll find out then where the teams are at. We've been hearing that the Nuggets have been distracted since the whole Michael Malone firing. Even prior to that, there was drama between them and the Grizzlies. You don't want to bet on a team with drama off the court. Speaking of drama, if you want to take the parallel from the Sanders family in the draft, it's the NBA, LeBron James and Bronny James whole situation. The Lakers are in action, and I'm sure we will not see Bronny James on the floor tonight. However, the Lakers T-Wolves Game 4, what do you like?
Yeah, and Bronny James is interesting to talk about here because anyone that's talking about Bronny James in any way right now isn't in a serious NBA handicap. All right, Bronny James is not a factor in this series. Bronny James, you're allowed to talk about him as a talking point, if you want. But this is about LeBron and the Lakers, not the 15th guy on the bench. And what have we seen in this series so far between LA and Minnesota? And again, looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen right now, Game 4 on Sunday, Minnesota minus 3.5, total sitting in the 208.5, 209 range. We've seen a little bit of under money come in. And what has this series been so far? Zigzag. Zigzag, when you play it blindly, isn't going to make you any money. It really isn't in the modern era. But in the competitively priced series, where you have two teams that are pretty good and they're throwing heavyweight punches against each other, zigzag does make sense. And look, the Lakers were not at 100% last night. Luka was, he had the flu. JJ Redick quote, he was vomiting all afternoon leading up to tip-off. And obviously, he was limited in that ball game. And, it came out in the second half and gave the old college try. And even with Luka puking and a non-factor for extended stretches and turning the ball over and not being healthy, that's a one-possession game. Don't look at the final score. That's a one-possession game with 3 minutes to play. And Minnesota closed out the game on a 13-1 run to win it and cover the number. But we've certainly seen the Lakers respond very well to adversity, even down the stretch of the regular season. All right, I want LA off a loss. I expect Luka to be closer to 100%. And I know it's a little bit of a short turnaround in terms of playing Friday night and then playing Sunday afternoon. I wish he had a full 48 hours. That being said, he's not going to be any worse than he was the other night. And one thing we've seen from this T-Wolves team, we've seen it consistently and repeatedly throughout the course of the season. Some teams don't respond well to adversity. Minnesota's kind of been a team that hasn't responded well to success. Every time things look good for the T-Wolves, they find a way to screw it up. And I expect them to trip over their own shoelaces here. And again, the NBA playoffs have been very, very good for the clients and I. Short term, long term, I'm hitting better than 60% in the NBA over the last 6 weeks. I've hit 60% in the NBA playoffs since 2022, counting every play every day. So the NBA postseason has been real good. But that being said, I don't know if this is going to be a client play. It might be. I'm certainly looking at the LA Lakers side here. It'd only be Lakers or pass in a series that I feel zigzag. And again, at 3.5s out there now, in my mind, it feels like a one-position game. I do not expect LA to lose this one, giving up a 13-1 run to close out the contest. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the game outright.
That game's tomorrow. I know that Bill Corbin in the chat's asking your quick thoughts on Miami, Cleveland, and OKC, Memphis today.
So Miami, Cleveland, I've had no read on, and I'm not betting it today either. I really haven't had a good read on this series. I haven't come close to making a bet yet in Miami, Cleveland. If I had to bet,
Cleveland's the better team. Miami just has a great coach.
Sure. Miami's been a team. When you start talking about the teams that have been through a lot, and we just talked about Denver and Memphis and some of these teams that have been through a lot, and all of a sudden they face some adversity in the postseason, Miami's a true character team. We trust them in that regard, but their postseason track record at home isn't all that good in recent years, and they're not the better of these two teams. They're just not. When it comes to OKC Memphis, my gut reaction, my initial reaction, just lay it. Lay it with the Thunder. Memphis without Morant, with no hope in the series. How much are they going to fight? And when OKC goes on that run, they play enough defense to get stops. And I can only lay with 15.5. But that said, I don't think Memphis rolls over. There's 1, 2, 3 Cancun series where, that you see it. When OKC was at New Orleans last year, boom. I mean, they were done. I don't know that Memphis to me is a little bit more character than that. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Grizzlies hang around in this one more than I expect most teams down 0-3. And the whole thing is that OKC can win this game comfortably. They can win it wire to wire. And then you look at the final score and they win by 12 or by 14. No point spread bargains, unfortunately, with the Thunder at this stage of this series. So lean OKC, but I'm not getting there.
As Gianni was saying before, the books, of course, are going to be wanting those Memphis Grizzlies to cover because everyone's just been laying it with OKC. I just hate laying big numbers in the NBA because these players just take their foot off the gas at any given moment. Major League Baseball.
Let me start, because regular season, you'll see that a lot. Postseason, NBA double-digit favorites have been very profitable. And because of that mentality, a lot of bettors don't want to lay. Oh, they're laying 12.5. Oh, that's too high. The wise guys don't get there. The public doesn't get there. And all of a sudden that team has value. So double-digit chalk for the last decade has been the way to go in the NBA. Not the
Does it matter the round?
Well, you don't see double-digit chalk usually once you start getting into the later rounds of the postseason. So
like you don't like if, let's say, I'm trying to think of who OKC would play. Who does OKC play in the next round? Trying to think of.
They'll play the Denver Clippers winner.
The Denver Clippers, yeah. So you wouldn't see a double-digit favorite there. Okay, no, it makes sense though.
I'm trying. I don't even think of that. I don't think you'd get OKC 10 at home in that series.
No,
I don't think so.
No, and to be honest, as much as OKC has been the team to beat, they're going to be the team to bet against at some point, and it's going to presents some good value because their inexperience, I think, is going to show up at some point in the Western Conference versus all the experience that's out there.
So I spent a lot of the year thinking that and watching OKC more down the stretch.
Do you think they're going to the NBA Finals?
There's no one in the West that's close to the Thunder. There's no one that's close. Okay. And when you look at all the other teams in the West, and I think the Clippers might have the best possibility to knock them off. Mm-hmm. But the Lakers don't have the depth. The Warriors don't have the depth. The Nuggets, the thing that OKC has is quality depth. And nobody else in the West has that. They really don't. So
no, I listen, there's a reason that they have been such heavy favorites to win the West, and it is them versus the field for sure. I do want to, before we go, Major League Baseball, you like an over today, and I know which game you're going towards. This game was insane yesterday. It was my fishy line of the day.
Yeah, and this is a client play for me. I'll give you guys one client play for today in MLB action. Thank you for watching Wager Talk Last Call. And, of course, take advantage of the great offers we've got at WagerTalk.com right now. Visit my page, wt.buzz/TC. All access. I always say don't buy a play, buy a package. And I mean that, But we've got a great deal for all access clients. Right now, $99 a month for the next 12 months. You get every play, every day, in every sport. If I'm your guy, check out my page, wt.buzz/TC. Let's partner up and make some money for the next 365 days. And again, it's $99 a month. It's as good a deal for a long-term package as you'll ever find at WagerTalk.com. Check it out. Visit my page again, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit WagerTalk.com. Of course, we also appreciate the likes, the comments, the follows very, very much. Now, let's talk about the Rockies and the Reds. Ariel, you just talked about how this game was wild yesterday. And guess what? Ain't no bullpen fresh here. So even if we get some good starting pitching to open the game. And by the way, Hunter Green, his track record right in Colorado, he's pitched in Colorado a couple times. Disaster. Lit up both previous appearances on this field. 10.5 total for the game. Cincy -200. Looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen. And by the way, if you just want a free trial of the Odds Logic live odds screen, just go to oddslogic.com/Teddy. 7-day free trial. Simple, easy. Check it out. I think it's a really good product. Again, oddslogic.com/Teddy. You get all the books, all the games, all the lines. It's pretty cool to play around with if you've never done so before. But looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen, again, 10.5 the total here. Cincy in the -190 to -$2 range. And make no mistake about it. Lots of guys are super starting pitching focused. I'm not that handicapper. I want current form. I want bullpens. Starters, in my mind, are a little bit less of a factor because they're priced into the market. They're priced into the game already. And we got Hunter Green. Hunter Green's coming off his worst start of the season, by the way. He's a guy who pounds the zone. He throws strikes. I don't know if that works all well. He's got a 10.80 ERA in his two previous starts in Colorado. All of a sudden, Clint Hurdle took over as the hitting coach for the Rockies, and all of a sudden they're scoring runs. And the key factor here, okay, when Colorado has reached 4, when the Rockies score 4 runs or more, they're 7-1 to the over this season. They played a doubleheader on Thursday. We had a slugfest last night. Their bullpen is fried. The Reds used their 5 top bullpen arms last night, trying to close out a 1-run win. Wild game, as you talked about, back and forth. I see both of these bullpens vulnerable. It's a warm day. It's sunny out. The wind's blowing out. Not crazy strong, but the wind's blowing out. Yeah, over 10.5 at Coors Field. And we'll ask the Rockies to get to 4 or more. Again, 7-1 to the over when they've reached 4 runs this season. And I think they get to 4+ here.
Hey, Hunter Green could throw 100. And when you throw 100, sometimes it just means it's going to be hit at 100. So everyone's going to love getting the ball over the fence in Coors Field with that altitude today. Teddy Covers, thank you so much. Anything else you want to throw out there before we end the show?
No, thanks for why. Listen, guys, we really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy day to hang out with us at Wager Talk. If you like this type of content, boom, hit that like button. Thank you. Problem solved. You want to leave a comment below? We appreciate it so much. But have a great Saturday. And of course, we'll do it again. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. We love having you here on Last Call. Teddy_covers. Make sure to give him a follow and take a look at his stuff over at Wager Talk. Thank you, everybody, for joining here on my first Last Call, filling in for Kelly in Vegas, who's on a boat somewhere. I'm extremely jealous. I think she's going to be back next week, though, because she made me jealous enough to book a flight for myself to go and sit on a boat next weekend. That is exactly what I will be doing. But until then, good luck with your bets today, everybody. And thanks so much for tuning in here at Wager Talk on Last Call. Have a profitable day.